Okay, so since, as far as I can tell, everybody here already knows me, I'm going to skip this part of the introduction on myself. Okay, so as we're starting to see more and more, the Harvard Business Review was right when it said AI won't replace humans, but humans with AI will replace humans without AI. We're seeing that, or at least I'm seeing that a lot these days. And one key thing with AI is don't think of AI as your replacement, but as your creative partner or assistant. And that's how I love to use it. Now, I want to tell you the backstory of how Nano came into the world about 3 weeks ago, maybe four. What happened was there's a website called LM Arena. It's actually a Discord server and community. And what they do is they ask you to generate an image without knowing which image generator you're using. And then as soon as somebody makes a vote on one or the other of the two images that they show you, they tell you which is the generator that you liked. And this way they're building up a kind of database. So yeah, you have this place where you don't know what the generators are until someone votes. And then they show you which are the two, and you find out which one you like the best. And what started happening is this thing called Nano started appearing, and nobody knew what it was or who was behind it. And so it started to go really viral with people discussing all over the web because they kept winning. And this is what actually happened. See the blue, Nano, this unknown image generator, started sweeping the boards. And so there was all this speculation. And then suddenly at Google, various different people starting putting little banana icons or emoticons in their signatures. And people started to go, whoa, this is something to do with Google. And sure enough, it was. And 2 or 3 weeks back, Google admitted that it is their tool. But that's how it kind of was born. It was born in LM Arena by people finding it and voting it as the best one they'd ever seen, which at that time it was. More on that a little bit later. It said per 10 YouTube reviews when I did this same seminar a week ago, but it's actually now 15 YouTube review videos. So these are the key features and capabilities. It has unprecedented character consistency, meaning that you create an image and then you ask it to change it or make another one. And it does, but it keeps the character the same. And this has been kind of the holy grail for a long time in the image generation world, because what would typically happen is you do an image with a character, you'd ask for the next image, and the character would change, which was really annoying for video. But now it does amazing character consistency, allowing users to make precise edits to images while maintaining the original subject and context, even after significant alterations. And another key thing is it can make multiple changes at once. There was another tool that was really good at making a single change to an image. But now with Nano, we can make all sorts of different changes at the same time. It's natural language, conversational, image creation, and editing. And it's the editing that is the differentiator between this and other tools. And it has a wide range of editing functions. I'll just go through this pretty quickly because we're actually going to see them in a moment. You can make an image and then change its hairstyle, change its outfits, and you can upload reference clothing and tell it to put that clothing on you or the person. You can age people or de-age them. You can change ethnicity, facial expressions, even on animals. You can do advanced photo retouching. You can change the time of the day, the weather conditions, the angle of the picture. And when you're looking at the picture front on, you can say, look at it from above or from the left or wherever. You can change the background so you can put yourself anywhere you want or other people anywhere they want. As some of my friends have found out this week when I sent them photographs of or videos of places they had never been. You can add or remove or swap objects or people. You can zoom out of the photos to include more of the scene. You can create YouTube thumbnails. It'll do colorization of black and white pictures, restoration of old photographs, which, as you'll see, it does remarkably well. You can do style transfers from one style to another. You can put multiple separate images into a new image that combines them all in ways that make sense. You can take 2D images and make them 3D. You can change or fix text in an image. You can say, make this photo look like it was in the 1960s or the 1980s or wherever, and it'll change everything appropriately. So as you can probably get the idea, it's a pretty powerful tool and a fun tool. It's really fast it's like, I don't know if you've ever tried to use ChatGPT to create an image. You sit there waiting for minutes. Well, with Nano Banana, it's usually about 8 seconds to create the image. And as somebody on Reddit said, this would previously have taken hours on Photoshop, and we can do it instantly with these quick prompts. It makes it ideal for video production, which we'll see a little bit later, when combined with other tools such as Google's VO3. A lot of commercial and professional applications, product photography and mockups. Yeah, product shots, merchandise, t-shirts, hundreds of ad creative variations instantly for A/B testing, creating advertising campaigns. You can do interior design, which is great for architects. You can see, well, I'll show you it anyway shortly. You'll see how you can change a room and see how things will look in the space. You can do alternate landscape gardening options. You can do headshots. You can do so much. And funny thing is, when it first came out, there were all these videos coming out on YouTube with people calling it the Photoshop killer. And we kind of wondered, well, how is Photoshop going to respond to this? Well, they responded very smartly by doing a deal with Google to bundle Nano Banana in Adobe's Firefly and Adobe Express, which is definitely the smart move. So let's take a look at some of what it can do. So this is a quick image that was generated in Nano Banana. And I said, okay, take this and put it on fire, but also make it, well, you'll see. It put it on fire and see how it changed the face to match the fact that there's a flame here. So it made it into the image in a way that was credible. And then I said, okay, now it's dusk, make it dawn. So it keeps everything else the same, but just changes the background. And although it keeps the items in the background the same, it changes the time of day. So it's very smart. And now I could take this and say, okay, let's make it.
Hey, I'm walking here.
So it's very good for using as a source to create videos. Were you able to hear the sound? Great, thank you. Now, here's an example of the consistency that I spoke about, because here's the original image here. And this is where Nano Banana was asked to create multiple different expressions or angles even of the same image. And you'll see that no matter what she's doing, it's the same person, right? Very consistent, which is definitely a breakthrough and one we've wanted for a year or two. And then here's a fun thing. It will combine images. So here's an image of Michael Jackson and one of Billie Eilish. And we said, or somebody said, put them together with Billie taking a selfie of them both. Now, it never happened, but it sure looks like it did, right? And here's one where it said, okay, put this product in the hands of this person, and there it is. Or take this person and put her in a toreador's outfit in a bull ring, and it does, still the same person. So there's pretty much no limits. Well, there are some limits, which I'll explain a little bit later. Okay, here's another example. This is where I think someone said, put the head of Microsoft and Google together on the beach and make it look like it actually happened. And there it is. And this one, make her a bit happier and change the weather. And it does. Same person. Or change Sam Altman's t-shirt. And it does. So it's very obliging. This was the original photograph, and the person said, okay, put it inside a building, in the same position. And it does. And you can tell it to change the position as well. It's very good at blending photos. So this girl had this photo of her and her dog, and she said, put us together in a new image. And there it is. Looks very natural, right? And then change my costume. Or take this picture and put this dress on that picture. And it does it very seamlessly. And again, like I mentioned with rooms. So what would this room look like with a bookshelf over there? Oh, like that. Or what would it look like if we added a couch? And so it does. So it makes design really much faster than it used to be, design mockups. Now, this was a tool previously called Flux, where you could say, here's the original image, make the sofa red, and it would. But that's all you could do. And that's all it could do until you said another thing, which was, okay, place a cat, and it would do that. And then change the window to a snow forest, and it would do that. But it was one thing at a time, not like Nano Banana, where you can say, take these 7 images and tell it what you want them to do. In this case, a fashion model in a beautiful long dress flowing with the wind, wearing red headphones in red high heels, is posing in front of a red exotic car on top of a roof during sunset. Her small dog is beside her. Fashion photography, high fashion, high quality. And it does this. So everything, all 7 images are there. She's wearing the headphones. The dog is wearing the dark glasses. It's on the roof. There's the background. The dress is flowing in the wind. There's the car. Well, that was 7 images, right? Now, what if you wanted 13, like these? So we give it this prompt, which I won't read, but now I'll tell you something about this in a second, but this is what it did. See, everything that we asked for and gave it the images for, it puts them together. It puts the headphones on the dog, makes the alien the keychain as requested, puts the parrot on her shoulder as requested. She's wearing the dark glasses. So you see, it went from these items, all of them. And if you look at the next image, you'll see all of these items, all 13, are in the picture. So now a quick hint here. If you do it by putting, some of the places where you can get it, you can upload 4 images. If you upload 4 separate images, it will have a little bit of trouble. It's okay with 2 or 3 images, but if you want to have as many of this, you just go into Canva and create what's called a collage, where you put all the different images together and you upload the collage to Nano Banana, and then it can do this kind of thing. Or you can actually go into Canva and say, I want this woman standing here, this man sitting on the sofa, and this plant in the corner, and it'll follow your instructions. Here, a similar thing. Man and woman are in a museum, mid-shot photo. The man is wearing a purple tuxedo, woman's wearing a gold dress. And since there's only 2 images this time, it does fine. We could add a 3rd person, it would be fine. 4th person is where it starts to get a little bit iffy, unless we use the collage approach. And this is actually a pretty tricky thing, even in Photoshop, to do. It's like swap the position of the husband and wife. Put the husband on the left, the wife on the right. It would take quite a while in Photoshop to do that and make it worth. In Nano Banana, it takes 8 seconds, and it does it perfectly. So we're in a new era. Now, here's a very old photograph, very faded and pretty wrecked here. So we wonder what Nano Banana can do to restore that. From that to that. So at the last time I gave this seminar, someone said it's going to put photo retouchers out of business. Well, it could, but it doesn't have to. If they're smart, they'll use it and be able to do 10 times more work. And here's a photo of the very first photo ever taken. And here's what Nano Banana did. The reason why I have hoax and a question mark is because when I looked this up, The web told me that this wasn't the first photograph, and it was actually a hoax. Somebody recreated this. But then I actually saw a YouTube video where someone took this exact photograph, went into Nano Banana, and produced a very similar image to this. So I don't believe it is a hoax. I mean, it might be a hoax that it's not the first photo, but Nano Banana can indeed reconstruct things very well. And look at this. Here's a girl with acne and poor skin. And here's after Nano Retoucher does the photo retouching, which again, it does well. Another one where we have a photo here and we want a close-up and we want it nice and sharp. So it does that too. Or we can say, okay, we've got this photograph now, zoom out and fill in what would be in the sides. And there it is. It zooms it out and it creates what it feels should be there or would be there. And I think it does an excellent job. And this one, Matt Wolf, a YouTuber who keeps up to date with a lot of this stuff, he said, okay, here's a shot from a Marvel movie. Now show us behind the scenes. And that's what it did. It created the crew and the lighting and the mic and everything for that particular scene. It's a pretty smart banana. And here, create a deconstructed version of the Apple Vision Pro from this image. And there it is. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that's correct or accurate, but that's what it did. On this one, this guy, Matt, again, had taken a photo of these sea turtles, but he didn't want all these people in his image. So he said to Nano, remove the people. And it did. It kept the turtles and everything else. Do you guys get the power of this tool? Yeah. Here, the guy wanted to change, Jay Hernandez from Jay-Z Creates wanted to change the name on this site, keep the sign the same, but just change. It kept the same text, same color, everything, same shadow, and just changed the actual text, which was exactly what he wanted. This one I like a lot. Now, any of you who've ever made custom GPTs, which are custom AI assistants using ChatGPT, know that it creates these icons so that it puts at the top. And the icons are pretty low res. If you blow them up, they look like this. So I said to Nano Banana, okay, take this icon design, improve upon it, and make it a lot better quality. And that's what it did. And to me, that's night and day. I think it did a great job. And I bet you can guess which one I ended up using. This was for a publisher of books, actually a publisher and marketer of authors. It also is good for thumbnails. This was a thumbnail I had for a webinar I did about last month. And I said, well, make it more compelling and more in your face and more like some of these kind of brash thumbnails that a lot of people use. And it did that. So it's pretty smart. And this is where Google have created a document giving us examples of how to prompt for it. And this is a very typical one. It says, use the provided image of subject, the sky. Please add, remove, or modify whatever you want to change to or from the scene. Ensure the change is a new description of how the change should integrate. And so use the provided image of my cat. Please add a small knitted wizard hat on its head. Make it look like it's sitting comfortably and matches the soft lighting of the photo. And there it is. There's the original. There's the change. Now, I'm going to show you a video here because there are tools like Kling and Seedream and others that enable you to put in a starting image of where you want the video to start and then an ending image of where you want it to end. And you tell them to create the video in between, getting from here to here, which is a lot of fun because it saves a great deal of time. So here's one example. Now it's looking a bit jerky because we're looking through Zoom, but the original is not jerky. So you see how it went from here and it created the camera tracking and turned and went inside and ended up with the ending image. So Nano Banana is great because it's got consistent characters. So when you're creating the beginning image and the ending image, it stays consistent. And here's another one. And a third one. So it does a very nice job. Okay, now Google AI Studio, which is where we find Nano Banana, although as you'll see in a minute, we can now find it in lots of places. But the easiest way is Google AI Studio. And Google AI Studio has a section now called Build, where it has a bunch of apps that already have Nano Banana built in them. So they're fun to play with. I'm not going to go into them right now, but it's something you can take a look at and see what they do. Because they do stuff where you co-draw. Ruth is saying, I'm thrilled that we have these options, but I'm kind of scared that bad actors will use it for nefarious purposes. For example, I've been approached 3 times this week by people who want to buy so-called tickets to my stepbrother's music. Your Next Year with Ringo Starr, when no such McCartney Starr tour exists. All they need to do is throw together is a site that looks like Ticketmaster, and boom. Be careful what you click on, peeps. Absolutely true. And I'm glad they're starting to build in guardrails and safeguards that are going to identify any images and videos as AI, which will help. But yeah, you're right. Nefarious people will use it for nefarious things, and good people will use it for good things. That's been true of every tool that's ever come out. But that's a very interesting example and not a fun one. Okay, we're going to go online here because I'm going to show you a couple of videos. So what I'm going to do here is show you, I'm going to jump around in this guy's video. This is Tower Prompts, who's a very good YouTuber, keeping on top of this stuff. But I'm going to jump to specific places. Actually, I think I have, yeah. So I'm going to jump around to 3 different places and just show you some of the things that he's using this start and end image thing with.
But what I'm going to do is do a transformation scene where we're going to start with this photo of a young man and see if we can rapidly age him into this much older guy. Maybe there's a science experiment that's gone horribly wrong. We'll start by adding a start frame. Let's go to upload and I'll attach the image of the young man. Then I'll go to the end frame and upload the image of the older man. So we have both of the image frames uploaded, and now it's going to be the AI's job to create a seamless transition between the 2 frames. So in the prompt, I'll need to describe roughly what the transformation should look like. And this is an important part of the process. We'll say the young man's skin starts to wrinkle and turn pale. His hair turns white and falls off as he transforms into the ghastly old man, an expression of horror on his face. This should look like something you might see in a horror film. There's also this negative prompt where you want to kind of describe all the things that should not happen. Some keywords might be like blurry, distort, deform, warp, keywords like that. Now you can choose between a 10 or a 5-second video, but I'll leave it at the default setting and generate the video. And here's what the finished video will look like. That is a perfectly horrifying transformation. The animation does look super smooth as his skin starts to wrinkle and turn pale, and his hair starts falling out. There's plenty of cool special effects we can create using the start and end frames. For example, if we start with this picture inside a journal of an alien creature and use an end frame of a live action shot, we can actually animate the alien crawling out of the journal into reality. Now the key part of this is you want to make sure the character looks the same inside the drawing as well as in the real life shot. Here's another
So you see how much we can save on special effects costs compared to in the past. I'm going to move to another section here.
A great way to use this start and end frames feature is that it gives you a huge amount of control over the camera movement in the scene. So I showed this example where we have a photo of the astronaut seen from the front, and also one of him 180 degrees turned away from behind. And we can make the camera rotate around him. Here's another example of that same scene where we're starting from an overhead view and zooming in down into a close-up shot of his face. And there's an endless amount of different start and end frames combinations you can use to create any camera movement you can think of. There are so many possibilities of the types of AI videos you can make with this update from Kling. And if you combine it with a powerful Nano banana image generator, the possibilities are endless.
And a video that I just literally saw about half an hour before this presentation, the same guy, Tao, put out a video, 14 tips for Nano Banana. We don't have time to cover them tonight, but they're really excellent. If you want to know some really good tips on how to use it, this thing, 14 tips to create mind-blowing AI images with Nano Banana, become a pro. I highly recommend it. It's really good. This is a fun video. Matt Wolf, who I mentioned earlier, who's another guy that I follow who keeps very much up to date with tools and shows how to use it. You're very welcome, Ruth. So I'll just show you what he did.
People are doing some absolutely wild things with the new Google image model that everybody's been calling Nano Banana. Things like the ability to do this, or the ability to completely change the character that you're seeing on the screen, like I'm doing right now. So in this video, I want to give you a deep dive breakdown of all of the coolest ways I've seen people using Nano Banana.
So that's one fun thing. And then literally, again, this was like 30 minutes before I'm just getting ready to give this seminar. And I go, I wonder if I dare go on YouTube and see if anything new has come out since I checked it yesterday. And well, lo and behold, Seedream 4.0, which is ByteDance, who are the guys behind TikTok, they have brought out just now Seedream 4.0 as a direct competitor to Nano Banana. And it seems to do everything that Nano Banana does. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to test it, but I did watch a short video of somebody testing it. And so it seems like now we have more than one choice. And they also priced it a tad cheaper. If you're using Nano Banana in any of the aggregating sites where they have a lot of different tools all together, it's 4 cents an image in them, but Seedream, of course, is 3 cents an image. And then a lot of people have been complaining about the price of VO3, which is Google's awesome image video generator, and they just announced a 50% or more price drop, which was very cool. I think I have it was, for the top end one was 75 cents a second. Now it's 40 cents a second. And the fast one, which is usually pretty good enough for most anything, was 40 cents a second and is now 15 cents a second, which is a nice jump down. Okay, now I'm just going to list a few of the limitations and then another thing, and then we'll actually go online and play with it. So the official Google Gemini outputs, which is like Google AI Studio and Gemini itself, come with a watermark, a little diamond, white diamond in the corner. That's not particularly obtrusive, but it is there. And they also come with a daily usage quota, although I haven't run out and I've used it a lot. LM Arena, the Discord place that I mentioned before, has no watermarks, so you can get the same images with no watermarks. And OpenArt also has no watermarks. And a tool called vMake, which I actually gave in and subscribed to this week because it's really good, can remove video watermarks seamlessly and really well. I did a quick test with their free one, and it was great. It did a great job. Aspect ratios. It seems to, at the moment, have a hard time when you ask it for specific aspect ratios. By that, I mean whether it's vertical like this for TikTok and Instagram, or wide for YouTube, or square for Facebook. It'll follow whatever size you put in. And so in the 14 tips that Tao covers, he gives us some good workarounds where you can force it to do the size that you want. And also you can use services like FreePick, OpenArt, or AI Connection Club, because we're building these tools into AI Connection Club currently, can mitigate this by, if it's done like this, you can say expand it and it will. Now, specificity in prompts. While natural language is understood, more detailed and structured prompts often yield better results. And I found it's not always consistent in its behavior. 8 times out of 10, it'll do exactly what I ask. A couple of times I have to fight it, but it's still way better than what we had. I'll answer that question at the end, Tricia. And Ruth, yes, that's very funny. Ruth says I should build a tracker app for the changes in VO3 prices. And it just so happens I'm in the middle of doing just that with Ruth's help. Okay, let's see. The multi-character limitations, that's what I mentioned before. It's okay when you're blending up to 3 characters. If you add a 4th, it can get iffy. So use the collage method that I showed you. Censorship, it refuses celebrity images. It refuses violence. And I read last week that it refuses the word bikini, but it does allow something else, a swimsuit or something, or 1-piece or 2-piece swimsuit or something, I don't know, something silly. Other known issues. If you ask it to make the image have a transparent background, it doesn't do that because it doesn't need them to create its own layered images. It will make the image transparent when you're layering it with something else. But if you try and download it as a transparent image, it won't. So it has that current limitation. Style transfer, and when you ask it to relight stuff or precisely place text in certain places, unless you place it on the image in text, it can be a little bit inconsistent. So it's not perfect, but it's really good. So now, how and where to access? Currently, you can access it through multiple platforms. Google AI Studio offers the full version at studio.google.com as a free version, but with quota limitations, which, as I say, I haven't run into yet, but other people have said that after creating a whole ton of images, it suddenly said, come back tomorrow. And you'll get the tiny watermark, but you'll get the maximum image quality. A lot of people are using it in Gemini, but they don't know that it has worse limitations, higher rate limits. In other words, that limit you much quicker, less precise control. It gets new features later, and also it's slightly less quality. The higher quality is up in Google AI Studio. LM Arena provides direct chat access without watermarks, and this is a preferred testing platform for serious projects. So you can actually now just ask LM Arena for Nano Banana, whereas before you had to wait until you could, accidentally have it come up as the preferred one of 2. Platforms like Recraft, Artlist, WaveSpeed, Bilo, OpenArt, Crea, Firefly, Adobe Express, Higgsfield, and FreePick have already integrated Nano Banana into their systems. These are systems where you can access a whole bunch of different image tools and video tools in the same system for a lower price than if you were trying to buy them all separately. And many others coming soon. And as I mentioned, OpenArt and probably others have no watermark. And also pretty soon, Nano Banana and Google VO3 and a whole bunch of other of these great image and video tools are going to be available for AI Connection Club members as part of their membership. And here's actually one that behind the scenes that I'm building, where you see here's AI Connection Club, and here's our version of Nano Banana, where I originally created a walrus and then edited to have him smoking a cigar. And then VO3 generator is also now being built in the back end of AI Connection Club. So we'll be able to have that degree of quality. of image with audio. I'm going to skip all this because you guys are all members, so you already know what we have. Image Alchemist is the one that tells you which are the best images or helps you find the best images. This is the tool for authors that does everything an author could possibly need. Ah, I skipped a whole step. Let me go back. I skipped the step of us actually going online and using it. And you guys were very polite and didn't castigate me roundly. So let's go online. Let's go to Google AI Studio. So when you go to Google AI Studio, Ruth says, consider yourself spanked. Okay, I do. Thank you, Ruth. So when you go to Google AI Studio, you click on chat. Well, actually, it defaults usually to chat. And then you see down here is try Nano Banana. So if you do that, we're now in Nano Banana. And so I'm just going to take an image and drag it in here. So now we've got this image, which is some aliens landing on Earth and greeting us through our phones. And I'm going to say, let's see, and I'm going to say, add a bunch of palm trees with Christmas decorations. Oh, there we go. So it added a bunch of palm trees with Christmas decorations. It left the aliens and the spaceship and the beach and the ocean exactly as they were. So now it's your turn. So you can turn your mics on for this, or you can use the chat, either way. Choose something for it to create, and then we'll edit it. Or if you want to upload an image to the chat, that's fine too.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, John.
I'd like to see, I tried this with a number of other tools and it hasn't worked, a cross section of a 2-story house with a water heater in the basement, and at the other end of the house on the top floor, a sink or a shower, and showing the piping.
Okay, hold on. You're going to have to paste that into the chat.
Okay,
I can't remember all that.
sure. I'll be happy to do that. Thanks.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to try one that Ruth suggested, which is the Beatles crossing Abbey Road in Santa Claus costumes. Now, the Beatles being celebrities, I don't know if it'll do it, but let's find out. Let's see if it slaps our wrist. Well, it got 3 of them. Doesn't quite look like them for real. Oh, it's actually a little bit. Not too bad. The Threetles. Yes, the Threetles. It got the basic concept. But, you know, if we gave it pictures of the Threetles, let's see. Yes, one in bare feet. That's right. That's John. That's Paul. I guess that's George. But if we gave it pictures of each of the Threetles, then it would do a better job. So, okay, Patrick says John Matthew Smith, 90s prolific photographer. He's a celebrity, isn't he? Well, I'll try it. See what it says.
John Matthew Smith, he's the 90s most prolific photographer of celebrities.
Well, it might not allow it, but let's find out. Is that him?
Not really.
Okay, in that instance, you'd have to give Nano Banana a picture of him. Then it would do it perfectly.
Upload a picture of him, of course, then it would be able to take the picture and work from there.
Yeah, and it wouldn't mind what the picture was like or what angle it was or anything. It would extract it and put it in there.
It could be a picture of me.
What?
It could be a picture of me, because if I told it that was the picture of that guy, it would assume that is that guy. It could be a picture of you.
That's right. Absolutely. So, John, I don't see your prompt. It also sounds like a multi-step prompt, so it might have to be done in stages. Public figures. Well, I've seen it do Trump. Oh, the Queen of England. Well, let's test this thing. What do you want her doing? Having afternoon tea with Paddington Bear. Okay. The Queen of England having afternoon tea with Paddington Bear. Yes, I remember that day.
I generated one for one of my mum's, Angie's books, she's 96. She's sitting here with me, fascinated. And I don't even remember what I used, but yours is better.
Good.
Yeah, look at that.
Look
That's
at that.
lovely.
That
Yeah.
is the Queen of England, and that is Paddington Bear.
Yeah.
It is indeed.
And
With my Paddington Bear had 6 fingers on his left paw and 18
Oh,
on
no.
his right.
And that's a nice high tea. I'm hungry.
It is.
Wow, that's very cool. I'm going to save that.
Yeah, please do send that to me. I'll put it in an Instagram post for Mrs. McCartney's teas.
Oh, you want me to send it to you? Ruth, did you say you wanted me to send it to you?
Yeah, email it to me if you're
Yeah.
allowed to, if you can.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'll put it in a post for Mrs. McCartney's teas. That'd be fantastic.
Great.
And give you and the bananas full credit.
Super. Thank you. Okay, so let me close that. So what else have we got in the chat that we can try with it? Oh, you know something? I want to try something else here with it since we've got this rather cool image. I saved it, so I'm actually going to very quickly go into WaveSpeed. Now, WaveSpeed is an aggregator of all the best tools. And I think I'm going to go Kling 2.1 Pro. Yeah, 2.1 Pro. And what I'm going to do is upload the Queen with Paddington Bear. Yes, it's the Queen with Paddington Bear. And first, what I'm going to do is do it without any prompt at all and see what it does. And I think if I take the guidance scale down to, I think from what I remember, this way it's going to keep the original image better. Yeah. All right, let's try it. Oh, it wants something. It wants us to have them do something. Well, I'm just going to say the Queen and Paddington Bear are drinking tea and chatting. It's going to take a little while, of course, because it's doing a video. But one of the nice things about WaveSpeed is it's actually a lot faster than most of the other. Too funny, Ruth. If you want to see some funny communications, open your chat. Okay. Any questions while we're waiting to render? In other tools, it would take maybe 5 minutes to render a video. Here it's going to take probably a couple.
I have a question. Do you hear me well?
If you speak a little bit louder, yes, or closer to your mic.
Okay. I have done a video with me singing national anthems in a big event, and the person who have recorded the video have turned the camera on the side in the middle of the video. Is it possible for me to correct that turn with this?
Not exactly yet, although I bet that's coming, because what you would do now is you'd give it the last frame, existing frame, and then have it mock up an image of where you want the last frame to be and have it, make up what it thinks should be in between, but it won't be the original performance. Now, Trisha says, if you strung a bunch of those frames together, could you make a movie? Absolutely. That's what people are doing. 10-second clips all joined together. But there are tools like OpenArt that will add video that syncs to the lyrics, where the singer lip syncs to the image, and you can upload a picture of yourself and make that into a character. So using a tool like OpenArt, you could probably piece together what you're trying to do, but it would be a bit of work. Anyway, let's take a look at this.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So it's exactly what we asked for. I should have made it a 10-second one, but it's definitely the Queen of England drinking tea with Paddington and chatting. And it's on video, so it must be true. We should probably sell it to the paparazzi. Okay, so let me go back to the chat for a second. Okay, this, remember I mentioned Seedream 4.0? Well, WaveEdit has gotten it. I mean, sorry, WaveSpeed has just gotten it. And here's an example where this was the original image. Just a really scratchy drawing, and the prompt was, hang on. Oh, there. The prompt was turn picture into a real TV, and that's what it did. Let's see, I never tried Seedream because it literally just came out. So let's try it now. Let's see, what would you like to see on the TV screen? And let's see if it'll do it. Martha Stewart cooking a cake. Well, I wonder if Seedream has the same thing about celebrities. So I'm going to say, put Martha Stewart cooking a cake onto the TV screen. Now, I might be doing this all wrong, but it's worth a try. Wow, this is a lot slower than Nano Banana, at least so far. And we have no idea yet whether it's actually going to do anything usable or not. Oh, well, it did it, but it did it from this. So Marley says in the chat, the Queen was worth 45 cents and Martha Student 3 cents. Yeah. So I wonder if we, okay, no, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to upload our Queen again.
Well, Tony, what about if we asked it to put any kind of chef baker into the rendered, 3D TV? If we review what I'm trying to do in our business is check the celebrity versus non-celebrity, who's protected and who's not, and all of that stuff. So what if you said, a young female baker cutting a cake, and then see if it does it onto the actual rendered 3D TV? I don't know if can you go back there, or are we stuck in the black and white TV now?
Well, we're kind of stuck because I
like it.
Yeah, but I want to try something here.
Okay.
But I'll definitely look into that. So let's see. Here, I'm just literally, or we are just finding out what it can do. So what could we add or take away? Actually, let's see, what can we add to this picture and see if it does it?
Maybe put it in a TV frame as if it was a broadcast.
Okay.
Could you have them high five?
Sure. But first I'm going to try what Ruth just said.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah. Place the attached image into the screen of a TV. I'm going to try this in stages and see if first of all, see if it actually does this or not. And I may be prompting it completely wrong because I don't know the prompting protocol for Seedance since it just came out.
We all have to sing bum 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 bum. I was too soon.
Oh, look at that. What is this? No, that's a copy. Oh, that's sharing. I want to see how I can see it bigger. There we go. Okay, so it did. It put them into a TV screen. Now, so it is doing what Nano Banana does, as it claims. Now let's add Oh, here we can upscale it to make it super high quality. And here we can generate video, which we'll do in a moment. But I'm going to see if I can just add something just right in here. Add a corgi on the floor reading a newspaper.
You've been to England one too many times, my friend.
True.
We need to create the AI Connection Club jingle for these bits.
Good idea. We could use Nano, which will soon be built into AI Connection Club.
We have them occasionally. Dancing strings, I think we need here.
You're right. Oh, look.
Look, there he is,
Where was
reading the
it?
paper.
Lovely. No, I got the wrong one again. Where was it? There it is. It did it. It put a corgi. It kept the Queen and Paddington exactly as they were, and the room, and it added corgi reading the newspaper. So it does work like Nano Banana. Now, let's have some fun. Generate video. And we got choices of VO. Ooh, I'm going to use VO because VO will add sound. Generate audio. So let's say what sound we want it to have. Okay.
Brass band playing outside in the garden, or do we run into copyright issues if we say music, like a brass band? If we don't say,
We'll try that as the next thing. First, I'm actually going to have the Queen say something.
ooh,
Okay.
my whole life, whether it be long or short.
The Queen and Paddington are sipping tea and chatting. And the Queen says, your turn. What does the Queen
Do
say?
you have any marmalade sandwiches?
All right, let's try that. Do you have any marmalade sandwiches? Who knows what we're going to get? Well, let's try it. Oh, let me see if I can have got a choice of duration. 8 seconds, okay. 16:9, good. Ooh, 1080p. That's new. That's literally new because it was only 720 until yesterday. Well, this is going to be interesting. I'm laughing at Ruth again. Too funny. Okay, so as you can see, it takes longer to do a video than a image, but fortunately we're in WaveSpeed where it's going to be a couple of minutes instead of 10 minutes as it is in some of these generating systems. So any other questions?
I agree with Trisha. $1.20 per run for something like that is really pricey for
Yeah, but that's because we're using the top of the line
VO.
free with audio. You can get this stuff for like 15 cents instead of $1.20. I mean, the price is
The
all
thing
right.
I've learned is these people all have to pay server farms to turn over 1 million computers to generate the compute to actually do this. They have to pay their electricity bills and their staff and their,
Sure.
it's a business on the other end while they're trying to put us all out of business as creators and artists. They're creating an AI IT business on the other end.
Right.
But it will come down as they're building, hopefully, solar powered server farms for all this stuff. Right.
Yeah. Well, like I say, Google went down half today in price, and Seedance is much cheaper than Google. And think of what it would cost to create a scene like this and film it.
Oh, well, yeah. In Hollywood, that 8-second scene with animators and whatever would be about $40,000.
Yeah. And take how long?
Well, it would take 16 colorists and people Having done 37 years in the business, probably take about 6 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All these people out here in Hollywood are on union contracts. They make $1,200 a day. And if they only get pulled into work for an hour, they get paid for a whole day.
Yep, that's right.
Well, they did. Unfortunately, a lot of our friends are losing their jobs, but they need to get with AI Connection Club and learn this stuff and keep their job.
That's right. Yeah, the guys who embrace this stuff and use it are the guys who are going to be so much more in demand.
Yep. Yep. Spent all the last since Sunday with clients all over the world on this stuff.
Do you have any marmalade sandwiches? Yes. Do you have any marmalade sandwiches?
Oh, it got the lip sync perfect, but it did it on Paddington instead of the Queen.
Which is fine because you really can't
Right.
replicate. I mean, we can with 11 Labs, you can replicate the Queen's voice, but that's illegal. So
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to play it again. I want to see and
I
hear.
love it.
Yes. Do you have any marmalade sandwiches?
I have to see it one more time. Isn't it great?
Yeah, but she's a ventriloquist.
Yes.
Do you have any marmalade sandwiches?
Oh,
Except he's losing his newspaper.
right. And he's got a briefcase full of them, but that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for a first attempt,
Gorgeous.
pretty cool. Anyway,
Splendid, as we may say. Splendid.
Splendid, yes.
So that's a kind of quick overview of Nano Banana being used for images and then also to be a seed for video stuff. So if you want a copy of the slides, email me at this address. And if you'd like a free AI coaching session, you can email me at the same address. And if you want tea and crumpets with the Queen and Paddington Bear, we can almost provide that, but not quite. Oh, I promised to answer a particular question that came up earlier. Let me just jump back and find it. Oh, yeah. Trisha says, are Nano Banana's results better than training a Flux LoRa in file.ai if you want to create prolific profile images or yourself like photo shoots? For those who don't know, LoRa's, they help to actually, I'm not the best person explaining LoRa's. Trisha, explain a LoRa in simple terms. Assume we're all 5 years old.
You're so funny. Okay, so my understanding of it, because I've just followed the prompts to figure out how to do it, but it's a, what is it, a language? No, it's a learning model, and you're uploading like 10 to 15 to 20 photos of yourself in different positions and hopefully similar hairstyles. So it gets an idea of what the look should look like. And then you do run in interference or inference models with it. And it basically, you put a prompt in there, like I want myself in front of an airplane, or I want myself, on the beach or something. And then it will create what looks like a fabulous professional photo shoot with me in the photo. And my boss keeps saying she doesn't like using anything AI, but she wants new profile pictures of me for the YouTube videos, things that we do. So I keep using this program and she doesn't know I'm using it. She thinks these are real photos of me.
Absolutely. Well, yes, that can open art, which is like WaveSpeed, is very good for that because you can upload a bunch of your pictures. Actually, it'll create them from a single picture now. You used to have to put in 20 pictures. Now from one picture, it will create all these other angles and stuff really well. But if you put in 4, you'll get it even better. And it's fantastic. And Nano Banana is already becoming well known for headshots. So yes, absolutely. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Karen, one of the Karens says, what is a crumpet? And Ruth gives a whole long definition of what a crumpet is from AI, I think. But And she wants to know where to get them in Clearwater. Well, funnily enough, there is an English place down on, it's in Largo. I can't remember the name of it, but they have crumpets there. I love crumpets. Oh, thank you, LD. Thank you very much indeed. McCartneysteas.com. That's your mum, right? Yeah, they should.
Well, we need to fix that up, don't we? Andrew's sitting here having a glass of Chardonnay with me at almost 96 and learning AI.
Wow, that's
Thank you,
fantastic.
Tony. This is fabulous.
Oh, you're so welcome. Send
Thank
me what you have on McCartney's Teas, and I'll take it down there because I'd love an excuse to go down there and get some bangers.
Okay.
Okay, will do.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So, any last minute questions before we end off?
When's your next one? Because I haven't seen one in a little bit and I really miss them. I love your programs. I'm like a fan.
I'll put the replay of this one in the AI Connection Club. The next one will be in 2 weeks. So thank you guys very much.
I wanted to know if the tools that we have seen tonight are they the one that you will put on your website?
Yep. I'm busy building all the front end interfaces for them.
And when it will be available, you said?
What time is it now?
No, what?
No, I was kidding. No, it'll be a while because there's a lot of programming to do to make the front end interfaces for each of them and then integrate them into the community and tie them into the different membership levels and things.
Okay, thank you very much. It was amazing.
You're very welcome. So thank you all. Indeed, you've been a very delightful audience. I love it when the audience interacts like this. And
Leslie had a good question. How do you know if a website is real or AI? How do you even? That's going to be a good thing to know on any of this stuff. How to know if it's real or
you know what I usually do in a thing like that is I usually ask ChatGPT. And also, I would ask the same question. I would ask it, I would say, what's my best way to tell if a website is real or a scam? And it will come up with some very bright stuff.
There's also a great free tool run by ICANN called whois.com. And you can go there, as Tony well knows, and type in, hey, I've been asked to buy McCartney-Ringo-tickets.com or whatever. And if it's either privately registered or in somewhere that you don't trust putting your credit card into, then it's probably not a thing.
Exactly.
Whois.com is a really good place to find out who owns any domain name, com.org.net, .buzz, whatever.
Yeah.
Is it whois.com or who
No,
is
it's whois.com. If you just go to whois.com, that is an aggregated database that the ICANN, the Internet Connected Authority of Naming Conventions, that's out of Geneva, Switzerland, they run all of the API data into whois.com, and you can go and look and see who owns what domain name. A lot of them are privately registered, but if they're in places like Libya or Pakistan or whatever, they're probably not going to have your ticket ready when you go to that concert.
Yeah, I just found the site. Thank you.
Yeah, bookmark whois.com. It's a good one. But of course, join AI Connection Club because that's the way of the future. Thank you, Tony, so much for all you do. I'm serious.
God, you're so welcome, Ruth.
You're amazing.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to close it. Oh my goodness, all these nice things you're saying in the chat. I think I'll have to save the chat and then read them afterwards because they're going so fast. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys too. Ruth says, save the chat and make a quilt out of it. Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do, Ruth. Okay, everybody. So I'm going to find wherever the end of the... Oh, I see Karen waving. Bye, Karen. Oh, good night. Okay, good night, everybody. I'm going to close it down now and see you hopefully in a couple of weeks.